Lemon got bumped from prime time at CNN and he was given the morning show. I mean, he acted like it was a promotion, but it's not. See, in TV, prime time is where you want to be. In radio, mornings, that's where you want to be. I'm a morning host, so I'm a little biased there. I thought the morning show would actually do well with Don Lemon if he could swallow his ego and actually share the screen with his co host and have the makings of a pretty vibrant morning show. Not so much. Today, CNN viewers, the several that are still there, saw this announcement from John King.
I want to share with you some important news right here at our own network. CNN's Oliver Darcy is back with us. Oliver, what do you know?
Some shocking news again, John, in the world of cable news. Don Lemon and CNN have parted ways. This is according to a memo that was sent out to CNN employees just moments ago. I'll read to you part of it, John. Actually, most of it. It says, CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well, and we will be cheering him on in his future endeavors. And then it goes on to say that the network is committed to the morning show, CNN This Morning, which, of course, is hosted.
Sure, part of the family, but he's not welcome at any of the family reunions. Here's what Don Lemon had to say. He put out a statement on Twitter. I was informed this morning by my agent that I've been terminated by CNN. I'm stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I've loved at the network. It's clear that there are some larger issues at play. Okay, whatever, Don. Listen, we all saw this coming. Not only are the ratings terrible, but he's a terrible person to work with. And that's been clear based on his treatment of the women on set with him and even some of his guests. In fact, he had Nikki Haley, a presidential candidate. Well, he didn't have Nikki Haley, but they were talking about Nikki Haley, a presidential candidate who had announced her run for the White House. And everyone remembers what he had to say about Nikki Haley.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google
or whatever it is.
There you go. They all seem to get along so well. What better way to start your day than with those three? Listen, I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. But frankly, I think this latest run-in with another Republican candidate for president, Vivek Ramaswamy, may have even sealed the deal for Don Lemon. This didn't get nearly as much attention, but frankly, it's even more offensive. Here, take a look.
What do you have anything on this before I move on to China?
I don't see what one has to do with the other, but go on. I took up a lot of time with Fox.
Oh, it's fine. We have time.
I don't really see what one has to do with the other, especially and using the Civil War to talk about black Americans. That war was not fought for black people to have guns. That's not.
That war was fought for black people to have freedoms in this country. Yeah. Actually, that's why the Civil War was fought.
Okay.
And the sad part about
it wasn't fought for black people to have guns. I think.
Actually, you know, funny fact is, black people did not get to enjoy the other freedoms until their Second Amendment rights were secured. And I think that's one of the lessons that we learned.
Still aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I disagree with you on that, Don. I disagree with you. I think you're doing a disservice to our country by failing to recognize the fact that we have equality before the law.
And you live in this country, then you can disagree with me. But we're not. You mentioned that we have three different shades of melanin.
Don, I think we have to be able to talk about these issues in the open, regardless of the color of our skin. Black Americans today, to say that, compare that to 1865 and 1964,
I think for you to compare it to 1865 and 1964
have equal rights in this country.
Actually, I think it's
insulting. You see, it's at that moment when the new executives at CNN realized exactly what they had with Don Lemon. I don't know, maybe they didn't watch his primetime show. Maybe they thought he would change when they moved him to mornings. But what Don Lemon said right there is, your opinion on this issue is invalid because of the color of your skin. Unless you have the same color skin I have, you can't actually contribute to the conversation. That's the kind of divisive messaging you got from this man for many years now, and in not a good way, to drink your coffee and eat your Fruit Loops and start your day. So CNN finally got wise, and they gave Don Lemon the boot. But maybe he can join his friend Chris Cuomo there over on that thing they're doing over there. I mean, there's a lot of job opportunities out there. That's it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, with no Don Lemon. In the meantime, I'll see you on the radio.